We survived a late-game thriller, a reunion of minds from Saints coaching staff, and emerged victorious. The Detroit Lions standing tall at 9-3, showcasing resilience, determination, and an undeniable spirit of the Motor City, as well as just copious amounts of luck. With haymakers coming in early, the Lions became only the third team in NFL history to score 21 points in the first 7 minutes of a game. What looked like should be an early onslaught slowly turned into shades of a team we haven't seen in a while. But whether it was Sam LaPorta's franchise rookie record-setting day with 140 yards through the air, or the Jameis Winston Experience working out in our favor, the Lions were able to snatch victory away from the jaws of defeat. High energy out of the gate turned into a slow limp across the finish line. Being a Lions fan, though, a W is a W, and thanks to the 49ers' big win in Philly yesterday afternoon, the Lions inch ever so closer to an outside shot at the #1 seed heading into the playoffs. I'm here to say the quiet part out loud, y'all. So drop your socks and grab your jocks. This is the Hat and Beard Show.
Okay, let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. In case you're new here, I am your hostess with the mostest, Hat and Beard, where my pronouns are savage and I identify as sexy. With me as always is my stiff co-host to my left, helping me hold down the fort, B-Rad and Pick'em's extraordinaire. Guys, we've got an exciting breakdown for you here to talk about the Lions' thrilling victory in New Orleans. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. It wasn't pretty, but the Lions found a way to close the door on the Saints' comeback to escape with a 33-28 road victory. The Lions gave the ball back to the Saints for a potential go-ahead drive with 6 minutes left, but good old Jameis Winston couldn't lead another touchdown drive, and the Saints had to punt, giving the Lions the ball back, and we were able to run the final 3 minutes off the clock to escape New Orleans, despite being outscored in the second half 21-9. The Lions built a 21-0 lead immediately thanks to a perfect start on both sides of the ball, and the early lead proved to be enough to outlast the Saints. Jamison Williams' touchdown to begin the fourth quarter, aided by a Josh Paschal fumble recovery, proved to be the difference on the scoreboard late. Brian Branch also got things started early on when the Saints threw an interception on their very first play of the day, setting the Lions up deep in New Orleans territory. Sam LaPorta led the way with a career-high 140 receiving yards and a touchdown on 9 catches. Jared Goff bounced back from a couple of rough weeks to guide the offense with a steady hand and committed 0 turnovers, something that he has been bleeding turnovers the past couple of weeks. So it was good to see him really kind of clean that up and keep both hands on the ball when he was leading the pocket. He finished going 16-25 for 213 and a couple of touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs was the team's leading rusher, going 8 carries for 60 yards. That's an awesome stat line. That is high productivity when giving your opportunities. While David Montgomery handled the majority of the workload, going 18 of 56 for a touchdown. So really the workhorse of the back and being utilized heavily around the goal line. Brian Branch really tried to end the game early on. The Saints' first possession of the game, he had another great one-handed interception deep in the Saints territory, which we were able to capitalize on and go up 14-0 when Jared Goff was able to find Sam LaPorta with a beautiful little dart, nice little 17-yard touchdown pass. And then 2 minutes later, we would repeat that, and instead of LaPorta, Goff found Amon-Ra St. Brown on a wonderful, sharp 25-yard slant. And out of nowhere, the Lions are up 21-0 7 minutes into the game, and we are feeling good. We are feeling great. Everything is just going our way. But then the Saints started to show life when, of all people, Jimmy Grandpa found a touchdown, right? Good old Jimmy Grandpa finally active for the first time since like week 4. Remember, he had that little situation in California where he kind of lost his mind and was out wandering the streets, but he was able to find the end zone, get a little pay dirt in the second quarter, and this is where our defense really started to kind of showcase its weaknesses again and where our shortcomings are and how we're a little not as talented as we need to be in certain spots. We came to life a little bit, though, on offense at the end of the first half. We were able to showcase decent time management skills and execution on offense, getting into position to set Riley Patterson up with a go-ahead easy 26-yard field goal to end the first half, right? So we're up 24-7. We're feeling good about the game so far. We'd like to see the defense make some adjustments in the locker room for the second half and shut down the Saints, lean on our run game, and just eat the clock, right? Yeah, right, exactly. That's what we wanted. The third quarter would see more of the same, though. Our defense began being abused. Our offense being sluggish out the gate there in the second half. And by the end of the third quarter, Alvin Kamara had scored twice, and we all managed to do was tack on another Riley Patterson field goal after a nice little 65-yard drive sputtered out at the 10-yard line. And suddenly, we're only up 27-21, and I'm not feeling great about this game. Being a Lions fan for so long, I've seen this movie one too many times, but you know what, though? It's Motor City Dan Campbell. It's a different regime. This isn't the same old Lions. We need to get out of that mentality, but it's hard when you've been abused the way you've been abused for so many years, as the fan base has. You know, you're starting to get that feeling right there in your old gullet, you know, that, oh, golly, jeepers, gee whiz. But with a picture-perfect start to the fourth quarter, Josh Paschal recovered a fumble again deep in Saints territory, and we followed that up with an electrifying 19-yard double reverse to Jameson Williams, where he hit speeds over 20 miles an hour and basically was untouched on his way into the end zone, had a nice little Superman dive at the end, and that was, you know, pretty nice. Couldn't secure the 2-point conversion, but we're all of a sudden up 33-21, and a deep breath, right? A big breath of fresh air, and you're feeling like things can maybe go our way, that it's not as stressful as it was. So on the ensuing series, Bruce Irvin knocks Derek Carr out of the game, and enter Jameis Winston and the Jameis Winston Experience. Now, for those of you that don't know, Jameis Winston is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. The dude has a cannon for an arm, but terrible decision-making skills. He can either win you the game in heroic fashion or cost you everything by making some of the worst decisions a quarterback has ever made. That's what the Jameis Winston Experience is. You never know what you're going to get. It is a beautiful 50-50 split on every single play. And what does he do? He comes out and he drives the Saints down the field, and Alvin Kamara scores his third touchdown, his second 1-yard rushing touchdown of the game. We're suddenly up only 33-28, and I'm not enjoying the way the game is going. The narrative starts to line up for a collapse. Everything starts to look the way that we don't want it to look as far as storyline is telling. But in the end, fellas, we had enough in the tank to run out the clock and beat the Saints. MCDC, AG, Aaron Glenn, Mark Brunell, and a handful of players all got theirs in this homecoming of sorts against their former team that they either played for or coached for. And now the Lions still continue to stand strong at 9-3, leading the NFC North. The Kings of the North. Hey there, fella. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Go ahead and do me a favor. Go ahead and slap like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Turn notifications on so that YouTube might let you know that my videos have gone live. And since it's the wintertime, guys, do me a solid. Go ahead and go into your bathroom, find your old lady's lotion, and moisturize your skin, because you got to take care of that succulent man flesh. You need to protect and moisturize your man hide, fellas. So, in closing, what are my thoughts? We started out hot, but couldn't maintain. Our defense isn't strong enough to carry us deep into the playoffs. If our offense isn't performing absolutely perfect, our defense isn't going to be able to stop anybody. Hutch still needs more help, even with Bruce Irvin's early sack, and our secondary still isn't able to hold up in man coverage. Hopefully, CD Deuce, that's CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's hinted at a potential return as early as December 20th, would be a great addition back to bolster our secondary, because with Alex Anzalone out, having a veteran leadership to help execute our defense, as well as the playmaking ability of CJ Gardner-Johnson, CD Deuce, whatever he wants to go by, is hugely needed, because Tracy Walker's more of an enforcer. He's not really making the interceptions. Kirby Joseph has been breaking plays up but not getting the interceptions like he had last year. Brian Branch is showing that he's talented but still a rookie, and we have a lot of young talent on our defense, but adding a veteran leadership like a CJ Gardner-Johnson would just be a huge boon to our secondary. Missing Alex Anzalone was incredibly clear. However, real quick, shout out to him and his wife. They celebrated the birth of their newest child, a young little beautiful baby girl. So shout out to Alex Anzalone. Hopefully his recovery goes well on his wrist and they add more to the family. Good on you, bud. Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez, and Jalen Reeves-Maven are serviceable, but we really missed Anzalone's leadership on the field. The young guys proved to be, well, talented enough to get the job done. They will continue to grow, and it's better to have this happen now than, say, 2-3 weeks from now, where it would impact our playoff berth. I mean, we're looking like we're going to get a solid, division title, or hopefully. Let's not jinx it, but we get the division title, get a nice early top seed, like a 2 or even the 1. Right now we're sitting at 3, but it's better to have it happen now than, say, in the Dallas game, and then you're really impacted by not having Alex Anzalone on the field. At least now there's an opportunity for him to come back, as well as CJ Gardner-Johnson. On offense, our offensive line looked unstoppable early. Clearly missing Jonah Jackson the past 3 weeks has been very noticeable. Just how impactful he is in the middle of our offense on both pass pro and the ability to run the ball early on in the game. However, it was short-lived because now Frank Ragnow has been ruled or was taken out of the game and is dealing with an injury. This is also noticeable, his absence, because our production dipped after his departure. Colby Sorsdahl played well in replacement of Graham Glasgow, because Graham Glasgow slides from right guard over to center in replacement of Frank Ragnow. Again, nice to have a multi-talented veteran presence there along the offensive line who can play at a relatively high level at multiple positions. Goff was good, but not great, and our running backs are the engine of our offense. When they're running smoothly, our day goes smoothly. If you can continue to turn around and hand the ball off to 2 different skill-setted running backs who execute their skills at an incredibly high level, your day is going to be pretty easy, and you can win a game with throwing for 216 yards. Jared Goff, again, wasn't electric. He was good enough. He didn't turn the ball over. He took a sack and, did Jared Goff things. If things aren't perfect, he's not going to execute perfectly, but he did enough, and the weapons around him are there to elevate his play. Can this team make a playoff run? Sure. Can we go all the way? Not with the defense that we have right now, and not with our defensive coordinator not being able to make adjustments in the second half. Goff needs to polish things up even more, and our O-line needs to stay healthy as possible. We've got a tougher matchup this week heading out to Chicago to play the Bears, who, if you guys recall, narrowly beat us 3 weeks ago now. And it's going to be outdoors, right, where Jared Goff has historically not played very well, and it's going to be in the cold. However, the Bears are an incredibly beatable team. We are trending upward. Our play has gotten better since the last time we played them. And this is the last time that we have to play outdoors, which is, again, a huge boon for Jared Goff and company. So we'll discuss that more later on in our Thursday video, where we'll be looking ahead at the Chicago Bears matchup. That's going to do it for me, fellas. If you made it this long into the video, please comment down below your thoughts on the Detroit Lions game. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. That's going to be all for me today, guys. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Keep your stick on the ice. If she doesn't find you handsome, at least she'll find you handy. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. Frig off.